Hello everyone, it's Monday, June 24th, Lawrenceville, Georgia, Zone 7. We had a tremendous rainstorm yesterday. It's been raining for a couple of times in the last week, so I wanted to give you a garden tour here and show you what and how just amazing is happening. We'll start right here because it's handy. These are my pepper plants. You saw them in a video when they were planted. When you get on the other side, I'll show you how many peppers there are. These are my big tubs. These are sweet potatoes. Anywhere I get black-eyed Susans or flowers or whatever, I let them go. I love them. So, these are sweet potatoes. A spaghetti squash just taking over one of my compost piles. So let's see. And yes, right off the bat, boy, do I need to get in here with the weed whacker. And the only thing that grows better than the garden is the weeds. This is a new, really noxious, god-awful thing we've gotten this year. I don't remember having it before. But look at the root structure this thing puts out. It's like you cannot get all of the root out. So it just keeps growing and growing. Unbelievable, disgusting thing. You can see the peppers under here. There's a couple of big peppers. There's one with a little scald on it. Look at these peppers. I mean, these plants, look at them. These plants are 1, 2, 3. They're 4 rungs tall on the cattle panel, and they've already got gigantic peppers on them. So, you know how I love peppers, so this is going to work out just fine. We've got some dill here that came up by itself, so that it's sprouting. Over here I have some more peppers. I have a whole lot of weeds. Then we shift over here, and the bugs and the heat of just about bringing about the end to the cucumbers. But there's still lots of nice cucumbers in here. But they are getting close to being done. These were my first beans. Romano beans, and as you can see, they're dying back, but that's good because we got a lot of picks off of them. And then we come down here, and it's my Musica beans, and boy, do they give you some big whopper beans. Boy, do I need to get out and pick. I tell you, you look out here and you got a bunch of little 1-inch beans. And then you get 2 inches of rain, and you come out the next day and they're a foot long. And then down here is still another batch of beans starting. I try and do them constantly in little 3-foot sections so that we always have plenty of beans. Look up under there at how many beans there are. Then we come back over here. There's where the peppers were. There you can see the bell peppers in there, and in there. I have a video up of when I planted them and what all varieties I put in. Then we have my eggplants. I'm happy to say they're flowering, and there might be a little eggplant coming there. Looking for some eggplant. Here's some basil. Then as we shift up here, I did not plant these coneflowers, but the black-eyed Susans, but aren't they beautiful? Up here we have spaghetti squash taking over the place, and then this was there's 6 plants in here, 3 acorn squash and 3 butternut. And they are just taking over. There's one. It's hard to get in here without stepping on them, but there's fruit everywhere in here. We'll come down here. There was another big one I saw in here somewhere. Then we'll come down here to the acorn. There's two beautiful acorns there. But there's at least a dozen. They've run all over the place. There's another butternut hiding down in there. Then in here is my blackberry patch. Oh, and there's the step on it. And as you can see, I really need to be picking the blackberries. I never actually got them in the ground. They're still in pots. But they've been very happy here growing in pots. There's some more blackberries ready to pick. So they're doing well. I'll pick them. This is my horseradish. There's a 4-foot section of horseradish. Here's a second planting of tomatoes. And in amongst all the weeds are some more peppers. And even at these tiny, tiny little sizes, look at the peppers coming already. That's a big pepper on a foot-tall plant. Yarrow. Boy, yarrow is so pretty. I have to put a cage around it, otherwise it will just flop out and take over the place. So there's the yarrow. Over here, the heat is kind of tearing up the comfrey. So let's come back over here. These are some white sweet potatoes. Not doing white flesh. Not doing nearly as well as the regular sweet potatoes. They may have problems. Then we're looking at the turmeric. It's doing really well. And a couple of more eggplants. Then mixed in here in the middle is ginger. And a whole lot of weeds. The ginger is not as robust as the turmeric. And we're back in here with the squashes again. Boy, there's a big butternut right there. Should be a good little harvest of squashes in here. Then we've got to come down here to what so far has been really a disappointment. They look pretty good, but everything I'm getting off of them has blossom end rot. These are the ones trying to stop the blights by only doing brand new soil that's never seen tomatoes. And let's see how we're doing. I've been putting magnesium in here and calcium and been working really hard. And maybe it's starting to work. Look at that. And the bottom. It's a tomato. This is my first, honest to God, boy doesn't it look good, tomato of the season. Now as you look around, even that guy right there, look at it, blossom end rot. Even at this tiny little size. Then we come over here to this little red one here. See? Blossom end rot. We're going to put plenty of calcium, plenty of lime, plenty of magnesium. I think it's been that it doesn't rain for a week and then we get 1.5 inches, 2 inches of rain. And then we get nothing for 2 weeks. But, man, what a disgusting thing to find on your tomatoes. It's just horrible. And it's not... See? It's all of them. Such a shame. So we're going to keep working at it. These down here, even though it's the exact same dirt, beds were made the exact same day, these down here don't seem to have the problem. So, go figure that one. Boy, those are some nice, going to be some really nice big Roma tomatoes. There's some more coming. I am getting plenty of the tomatoes. So, at this stage, now we got to climb the hill here. Wow. Supposed to be in the 90s and the humidity is supposed to be about that high too. Then we come up here to the blueberries. We have picked quart after quart after quart of blueberries, and as you can see, if I can keep out of the wire, out of the bird netting, that there's still a lot. Last night the high winds blew a lot of the blueberries off, but there's still plenty of them. So we're probably going to pick blueberries one more time, and then we're going to let the birds have them, what's left, because the birds will love them, and frankly we've got as many as we can do. And then over here is my new little area where I moved a lot of the herbs. We got lemon balm, there's borage, Thai basils, Roman chamomile, the perennial, different kind of mints, peppermint, spearmint, chocolate mint. Had a couple of tomatoes decide to come up in the middle of it, and we're going to let them go, see how they do. Then we have some sage and some more lemon balm. Boy, do I love lemon balm tea. And now we're going to work over and take a look at it from this end. Here's some more lemon balm. So to just give you, there's the blueberries, the squash, tomatoes down below. Then you've got the beans, tomatoes, peppers, then the sweet potatoes. Then up here we've got one compost bed been taken over by the squash, but I think the bugs have got them. Here's a bed that's ready to use, and then here's one I'm just getting started. Now over here I have some more plants inside, but over here I have some replacement plants. You can see there's some peppers, tomatoes, then there's some just really cool stuff blooming. Here's some lemongrass, more tomatoes. So I'm going to take some of those tomatoes and pull them out and put in new plants, see if that'll help. Here's a tomato came up in this pot. These are basil, Thai basils, regular basil. This is my standard every year planting of 2 square tubs and 3 round tubs of my sweet potatoes. Wow. And we got a jet flying overhead. Then we have, we'll look at it from the other side. Then we come over here, and here's raspberries, raspberry bush, another nice big raspberry bush, more coneflowers because they're just beautiful. This is a mulberry bush, tree, whatever. This is a plant out of the compost pile. Nice big plant growing up there. So these things are all doing well. So now we're going to walk up to the front. And as we walk around to the front, got a bunch of sunflowers. Had a lot of strong winds last night with the storm. It looks like it did some damage to this. Wow. really did some damage to this fig tree. The other one's not so bad, but boy, this one's really got some branches down. And then hiding behind the figs or whatnot, I've got my zucchini and patty pan. So let's try and see what's happening up in here. We've been eating off of these for several weeks. I know they're starting to get tired. However, there's one coming. Let's see if any gigantic squash appear after the rains. Oop. There's a patty pan down in there. Oh boy. Oh boy. I got to tell you, these light colored zucchinis have no bitterness and are just incredibly sweet. Just been wonderful. Slice this in half, scoop out the seed cavity, and stuff it with vegetables and mushrooms and whatnot, and treat it like it was a pizza crust. I'm telling you, you're gonna die for this stuff. You'll wonder why you mess with pizza crust when you could be using big vegetables. Okay, let's see what we have in here. We picked before the rain. I think she picked like 14 out of here. Let's come up on the back side. We'll stop here and show you. Look at what all you get on a sunflower around here. I don't know, there must be 4 or 5 different kinds of bees on there. Just amazing. So, come around. Wow, well, the figs are starting to have some little figs on them, but boy, I cannot believe the damage. This one right there. The patty pans are just delicious. Let's see what else we've got going in here. Ooh. Try not to fall on the hole here. Let's dig down in here and look and see. Look at this. Look at this guy. Oh, what a whopper. What a whopper. How about that? Look at that. Absolute perfection. No sign of bugs or anything. Let's see. There's another one growing. There's one growing right in there. So we have plenty more coming. Oh, I'm going to be ready to pick tomorrow. So, here's my patty pan and zucchini patch. As we slide over, there's the rosemary. And then behind me up there is the lavender. So, I still need to do over on the steps and show you where we have still more herbs. So, I'll change directions and head over that way. This was a trimming off the elderberry tree that I really and truly, I just shoved a stick in the ground. A couple of lemongrasses. Here's a goji berry. That's a gourd starting to grow there. And here's my mountain mint, Virginia mint, whatever you want to call it. Very, very fragrant, tremendous pollinator attractor. And then we come over and here's my 2 big elderberries. There. I had cut them back to about 3 feet. I thought I'd killed them. Nothing had happened for so long. And then look at them. They're like 14 feet tall again. We cut a ton of flowers and to make some tinctures. And look at the numbers of elderberries. that are developing despite having taken so many flowers. And some of these are starting to be ripe. Here's another big batch. Then you come over and you can take an eyeball of the next plant. In the middle, cats love to lay in it. Bunch of yarrow. So that's on down the other side. These blueberries are just loaded, and we don't net them or anything. We just leave them for the birds. And at night, right in that area there, where the branches hang low, the foxes come over and they just gorge on blueberries. They'll jump into the bush and knock the berries loose and then eat them off the ground. So last year, this was a 4-foot walkway that was rotting. So when I had it replaced, we put in 8 feet so that there was room to put in all these pots. And just look at all these pots. Mixture of, there's rosemary, this parsley, I guess. There's some kind of a berry. Chris does this area, so I don't even know what else she has over here, other than it's mostly herbs. That looks like a lemon verbena there. Another lemon verbena. We've got different thymes, lemon thyme, oregano. That's a Thai basil. Now she started slipping over here on this side. There's her chives. So even with just the 4-foot walkway expansion, she's completely covered it. It looks really nice, doesn't it? We have some more turmeric was rooting inside, so she shoved some of that in a pot. So that's a little herb section over here. Plus we have the herb section over there I showed you earlier. So there's the walkthrough in the garden. It's kind of expanded quite a bit this year. If I can solve my tomato problem, I would have to just say it has just been incredible garden this year. We have been picking so much food. It's just been wonderful. So this is David at Grow and Eat This. June 24th, northeast of Atlanta, about halfway to Athens. It's in the 90s. We had a super rain. They say we may get some more super rain today. And there's the walkthrough on the garden. The only thing growing even better than the garden plants is the weeds. They are really growing well. So if you like the video, please subscribe. Hit the little like button. There's a notification somewhere in there that'll let you know when I put new ones out. So hope you've enjoyed the video. I've had a lot of fun making it. Now I got to start doing some picking. Thank you for watching. Oh, here's my quick pick that I went out to do. There's that squash I showed you in that big patty pan. These are the bell peppers. It's nice to see that pepper season has begun. There's that one perfect tomato, finally, without the blossom end rot. Some nice cucumbers. There was about that many more blackberries, but you know, there's a lot of picking charges. There was a few more beans, but Chris seems to keep sampling, making sure they're all right. Now, as you look at these, like this bean, that's probably bigger than you want to eat. But what's really great is I take these great big ones and I blanch them down, and they get fed to my fish, who absolutely love them. And then all of these reasonable sized ones are going to become a big pot that may be part of tonight's dinner, along with a hamburger and guess what? This tomato. So here's what we picked. Everything's looking really good. The heat's really terrible. So get out, start yourself a garden. Thanks for watching.